Jay, not the best of performances. How do you sum up the game?
Obviously, delighted that we're through to a final. That's got to be the first, obviously a win and a clean sheet. But I think the manner in which we won the game was disappointing. I think we lacked intensity, especially in the first half. There's no real tempo to our play. Our runs weren't proactive enough. I think we're a little sloppy with the ball, and overall disappointing. Second half, obviously, we changed a few things around. They had a few good opportunities themselves and didn't take them, and likewise we did. And I think second half they put more bodies behind the ball. We struggled to cope with that and to exploit spaces. And overall, disappointed with the performance. Obviously, we pride ourselves on performance, and we've got to look at take away elements of that, especially considering 7 days ago we played Watford and we played them off the park at times and we were outstanding. So yeah, there are elements we've got to look into, but obviously we've got to be happy we're through. It was professional. We saw the game out and we're through to another Hampshire Cup final.
A lot of pressure from the opponents. Do you feel we dealt with it well?
Yeah, but I think that pressure it started from us. We made a few silly mistakes when playing out from the back and allowed them to kind of get hold of that. And obviously when playing direct, we didn't stop that and prevent that quick enough and early enough. I don't think we were savvy. I don't think we were streetwise. And obviously, but listen, there was a few rotations we made, four changes to the team. They've come in. The intensity levels have still got to. We still expect high intensity levels, and I don't think we got that from most players. I don't think we seemed cohesed. I don't think our support play was quick enough. Our positional play wasn't good enough, and that's why it was only 1-0. We did carve open a few chances, especially in the second half. They threw bodies on the line with the post. There was seven or eight corners coming in and then out, and it just wasn't one of them games. It wasn't meant to be. Unfortunately, we couldn't take the positives from last week into today's game, but we got the win.
Going forward, what do you think we can do to improve?
It's always difficult when teams want to come here, and at times they played two blocks of five, and they played deep on their 18-yard box. Obviously, there was no spaces in behind, so counter-attacking opportunities were nullified, and we had a lot of the ball, and we've got to shift the ball quicker. It's as simple as that. When the ball goes from A to B, as that ball travels, we've got to have movement. Unfortunately, we didn't. We were too static. At the top, there was a lack of rotation from the wide players out to in, and the in players out to wide, and we had that on Sunday against Watford. Watford, when we played them, they brought the intensity. We played with no fear. We travelled there with no fear. The onus was on them after a good result. Today the onus was on us. It was down to us to win that game, and the pressures were on us, and I don't think we dealt with them well enough. I don't think we circulated the ball well enough, and overall we've got to be better if we want to retain this cup.
Do you think complacency was an issue today?
I wouldn't say complacency, no. I think we treat every opposition with respect. We do our homework. We send out reports. All the players are aware of what to expect. Obviously, they sprung a few changes. Emily Payne's getting dispensation from Hampshire FA without us knowing for the game, which obviously surprised us. And then that obviously freed up a few of the players in areas that we weren't expecting. But overall, we've got to manage that. We've got to deal with that in game. We knew what they were all about, how they were going to defend, and they did so. They nullified spaces, they threw bodies on the line, they made it hard, they made it tough, and it was down to us to break that. And unfortunately, we weren't good enough to break that. But at the one moment we did break it was great pressure and a good finish by Dan. And I thought from that moment, could we react? Can we build on that? And unfortunately, we didn't. Obviously, we hold high expectations now. We said that to the girls at the end. We've got a superb group of players and staff that can go on and achieve big things here. We've got to trust the process. We've got to focus on our performance, our pillars of performance, and we've got to persevere with that. When we do that, the results always are byproduct. I'll stick with that. The girls know that, and unfortunately, yes, we won the game today, but there are areas we've got to be better in, and we'll focus on that for the next game.
And not forgetting, we are through to the Hampshire Cup final for the 11th year running. How pleased are you with the girls throughout the campaign?
Throughout the whole campaign, yeah, we've done a good job. We've been professional throughout. We've scored some superb goals when we played Eastleigh here. I think we were outstanding, and that was the level of intensity and the level of sharpness I expect. Unfortunately, today we didn't do that. But overall, we've got to be happy. We've got to be happy we're into a final. It's a cup that is prestigious for us. We've had our name on it several times. We keep saying that, and we know the onus and the responsibility was on us. And for these girls, they've gone from one game of having no fear to go and attack and play expressive and expansive to now a little bit of pressures, because they obviously want to be the team that goes on to retain it. We all want to retain it, but we've got to learn to deal with that and learn to play with no fear, learn to play that football, learn to play simple football, simple passes, break the lines, get in, and then when we do get good opportunities, we've got to finish them off. Having said that, I do think the back line did well today, obviously with a clean sheet. Jamie Rowland's making some great saves, especially considering her injury in a warm-up. Massive credit to her. And overall, we were happy. And now the focus will turn to training this week and Moneyfields, and we want to see a reaction now against Moneyfields. I want to see us play with the same style, the same tempo, the same swagger we played against Watford. We've got to be better.